we get him to do that? Well, what does that mean?
A boy named Max wakes up from his sleep when his room closet door suddenly opens. Max looks shocked by this, and as he starts hearing strange sounds, he calls his mom to come to his room. Almost immediately, his mom, Eileen, enters the room and tells Max to go to bed, because this is the 4th time he's calling her. His dad, Jack, also comes in to complain about the same thing, and he asks what's really going on. Max then says that the action figure in front of his bed is staring at him. Jack seems confused by this.
Wait, the curtains!
But he just turns the action figure to face the other side. Max then complains that he won't be able to tell what the action figure is thinking anymore, and Jack eventually turns it to the side. As Max's parents are about to leave the room, he complains about the curtains being scary, and Eileen mentions that she fixed them the last time she came in. Max says he wants them fixed again, and as Eileen does this, she asks if it's now better. Max just ignores the question and asks if Eileen can stay with him for the night. Eileen says she can't do that because anytime she stays with him,
Ultimate Gonzago?
he keeps her awake by talking about random things. Max says he won't do that this time, but Jack mentions that Eileen can't stay. He also promises to buy another video game for Max if he just goes to sleep. Eileen doesn't seem to like this, but Jack says he has simply run out of ideas to get Max to stop disturbing them. After they leave the room, Max tries to sleep, but as the closet door slightly opens again,
True. But the real one is...
he gets up and wonders what's happening. Even though he's scared, he slowly walks toward the door to see if there's anyone inside the closet. As he's about to touch the door handle, someone grabs him with a fake monster hand, and Max looks really scared. Interestingly, it turns out to be Max's sister, Cassie, who laughs and mentions that he deserved to be scared for destroying her DVD player. Max says it was only an accident, but Cassie doesn't seem to care about this. Max then says he's not scared of the monster hand because it's just rubber, but Cassie mentions that a real monster will come and get him soon.
One is out there.
Max looks scared and calls his mom again, but Cassie just heads out. Before Cassie gets to her room, Eileen sees her and asks if she was scaring her brother again. Cassie denies this, but Max mentions that she's lying. Eileen seems tired of this, and Jack says that Cassie might take things too far one day if she keeps trying to scare her brother every time. Cassie then complains that she doesn't want Max to come to her room anymore. Eileen says that Max is only trying to get closer to her and that she has to be nicer to him because he's still getting used to the fact that they're in a new neighborhood.
An accident!
Cassie looks frustrated and asks why everything has to be about Max. She then walks away and enters her room before locking the door angrily. The next day, Cassie gets ready to leave for school, but Eileen complains about her outfit and asks if she has to look like that every day. Cassie doesn't seem bothered by this, but as she sees Max in her room, she sends him out. Eileen then tries to get Cassie to change her clothes, but she refuses to do this.
Honey, I know it's awkward to be dropped into a new school, especially...
Eileen says that Cassie might be able to make new friends if she doesn't try to be different. Cassie says she liked her old friends, and Eileen realizes that her daughter isn't happy because they just moved to a new town. She then mentions that things will eventually get better, but Cassie doesn't seem to believe this. After a while, she arrives at her new school and sees a boy named Sean greeting some other students. As Cassie checks her locker, she looks distracted and continues staring at Sean because she has a crush on him.
This is so cool.
I know.
Almost immediately, one of Sean's friends pranks him by getting him to hold a shocker pen. Sean happens to be quite cool about this, and as he even enjoys getting shocked by the pen, his friend says he didn't expect such a reaction. Just then, Sean catches Cassie staring at him, but he ignores her and walks past her. Much later, during lunch, the students head to the cafeteria, and they're all informed to cast their votes for this year's Halloween queen. A girl named Priscilla and her friends look excited by this.
Hey, Priscilla.
He's so hot.
And they eventually head to their table. While they're there, Sean walks past them, and one of Priscilla's friends admires him. As she wonders who he'll take to the upcoming Halloween dance, Priscilla says it's her. Her friend then asks if Sean has asked her already, but she mentions that she's sure he will. Elsewhere, Sean and his friend sit quite close to Cassie's table, and she just continues staring at him. Before Sean starts eating, he complains to his friend that his English paper is due in a few days, but that he still hasn't finished reading the book he's working on.
Stupid book.
His friend seems more concerned about his food, but Sean mentions that if he fails again, his dad won't let him play for the school football team. Interestingly, Cassie happens to be hearing their conversation, and she tells Sean that she has read the book he's supposed to write a paper about. Sean looks shocked by this, but as Cassie talks about the book, he realizes that she isn't lying. He then asks if she's in his class, and she says that she sits right in front of him. As she tells him her name, Sean also introduces himself.
I'm in your English class.
Almost immediately, one of Priscilla's friends informs her that Cassie might just steal Sean from her. Priscilla finds this funny, and she jokes about how Cassie is a new girl who dresses weirdly. As Cassie is about to offer to help Sean with his paper, Priscilla interrupts her and stands right in front of Sean's table. She then mentions that she can help Sean with his report, and he looks happy about this. Priscilla also tries to get him to ask her out to the dance, and as he does this, she looks excited.
Hey, what's up, man?
She then turns to Cassie and jokes about her outfit. Cassie looks pissed by this, and as she stands up to leave, someone accidentally bumps into her, and the things on her food tray get spilled on her clothes. Priscilla finds this funny, and she says something that gets everyone to laugh at Cassie. Later that day, Cassie heads home and can't stop thinking about what happened at school. She also seems very pissed at Priscilla for mocking her and getting everyone to laugh at her. Almost immediately, Max enters her room to show her his pirate costume for Halloween.
The word is knock.
Cassie doesn't seem to care about this, and as Max leaves her room, Eileen mentions that her brother was only excited to show her what he'll be wearing for Halloween. Cassie just ignores her, but Eileen says she heard that there's a Halloween dance coming up at Cassie's school in a few days. Cassie says she's not going, but Eileen tries to encourage her to change her mind. She also talks about how her mom convinced her to go to a Halloween party she had refused to attend. Cassie doesn't seem bothered by this, and Eileen eventually leaves her room.
Your father and I have a party we have to go to, so we need you to take Mac.
The next day, Cassie leaves the house and tells her parents that she's heading to the library. As she asks if they want her to get anything for them on the way, Eileen mentions that she wants Cassie to take her brother trick, or treating on the night of Halloween, because she and Jack have a party to attend. Cassie doesn't like this, but Eileen insists that she has to do it. After this, Cassie walks away and heads toward the library. On the way, she sees a strange Halloween store in a narrow corner. Cassie looks confused because she hasn't seen the store there before.
It's my boss's party, Cass.
But she eventually decides to check it out. When she gets to the entrance, the door happens to be open, so she just walks in. She then sees that the store has a lot of scary things on display for Halloween. Suddenly, a strange man appears behind her and asks what she wants. Cassie says she hasn't seen the store in the corner before, but the store owner says it's good that she found him. He then asks if she likes scary stuff, and she says that she does. The man then mentions that he knows Cassie loves to scare people. Cassie finds this strange.
I'm not a baby, you stupid head.
But she just asks where he got all the things inside the store. The man says he's a collector, and as Cassie looks confused, she mentions that she's already leaving. Interestingly, the man sees the book in her hand and asks if she likes to read. Cassie says she does, and the man mentions that he can show her the book section. Cassie seems scared of the way he's talking, and she says that she's leaving. On her way out, the man mysteriously appears next to her and shows her the book he's talking about. Cassie then sees a book titled The Evil Thing, and she says that it sounds scary.
The sign says books, not book.
As she then asks if she can see it, the store owner says she can. Cassie then picks up the book, but she notices that there's a lock on it. As she talks about this, the store owner says he'll give her the key if she buys the book. Cassie then asks how much it is, but the man just asks how much she can pay. Cassie says she has $5, and the man sells it to her for that price. He also gives her the key, but before she can open the book, he tells her to do that outside the store.
I'll have the S removed.
After he drags her out of the store, he locks the door and puts up a sign indicating that he's closed for the day. Cassie finds this strange, but she seems more interested in opening the book. Just as she then unlocks the book, a strange wind blows around her, and she sees an instruction on the first page, telling her not to read the story aloud. Cassie doesn't seem to understand this, but as she closes the book, the wind suddenly stops blowing. The next day at school, Priscilla is announced as the Halloween Queen, and she looks happy about this.
Yes, that makes you?
Cassie doesn't get what's so special about being Halloween queen, but the cook at the cafeteria tells her that it's a special tradition. She adds that the Halloween dance is always great and that the queen will get a chance to hit a piñata. Cassie looks shocked when she hears the part about the piñata, but the cook confirms that it's part of the school's Halloween tradition. The next day, Cassie receives a package at the house, and as Eileen asks what it is, she mentions that it's for the dance. Eileen says she thought Cassie didn't want to go, but she mentions that she has changed her mind. Later that night, Cassie goes to the party and sneaks into the back room to fill the piñata with live cockroaches. Shortly after, the piñata is brought outside for the Halloween queen to hit. Priscilla initially struggles to hit it well, but when she does, the cockroaches land on her body, and this freaks her out. She eventually loses her balance and falls on the Halloween cake. Everyone looks shocked by this, but as Cassie starts laughing, they all join her. The next day at school, everyone laughs at Priscilla, and this gets her frustrated. She then finds Cassie and accuses her of putting the cockroaches inside the piñata. Cassie says that Priscilla can't prove it, and she just walks away. Priscilla looks pissed by this, and she mentions that she'll get her revenge soon. Later that day, while they're in class, the teacher asks a few questions, and Cassie happens to be the only one who can answer them. While she's at it, Priscilla sees the strange book inside Cassie's bag and assumes that it's a diary. She then tries to get Sean to take the book out of Cassie's bag so she can check what's inside, but he refuses to do this. As she offers to help him with his paper, he gently picks up the book without Cassie's knowledge. After he gives it to Priscilla, she opens it to see what's inside, and a strange wind starts blowing outside the classroom. Priscilla eventually realizes that the book isn't Cassie's diary, so she gives it back to Sean so he can return it. Just as he does this, Cassie nearly catches him.
Over time, it changed into All Hallows.
But he pretends like he didn't do anything. Later that night, Cassie takes Mac's trick or treating, and after he gets enough candy, she says that they have to return home. On the way, one of Max's friends tells him about a house where he can get his favorite candy. When Max gets to the front of the house, he looks scared to go closer because there are some scary decorations in the compound. Cassie tells him to face his fears and be brave, but Max still looks scared. As Cassie asks if she should help him get it, he says he wants to go by himself. Unfortunately, Max fails to summon the courage to do this, and Cassie says she's heading home. As she walks away, Max runs after her and accuses her of trying to leave him on the road. When they get home, Max reports what happened to his parents, and they scold Cassie for leaving him on the road. Cassie denies doing this, and Jack eventually takes Max back to get his favorite candy.
Why can't we just do this tomorrow, buddy?
Eileen then tells Cassie that she has to try to be nicer to her brother. Cassie doesn't care about this, but Eileen just brings out a bowl of chicken and tells her daughter what to do with it after it defrosts. Shortly after, Eileen and Jack leave the house for the party. Interestingly, Priscilla and Sean happen to be watching the house from across the street. Priscilla looks happy when Eileen and Jack leave, and she tells Sean that it's time to get her revenge. Sean doesn't seem interested in doing anything that might scare or hurt Cassie, but Priscilla insists that he has to help her. As he seems nervous while holding the shocker pen, Priscilla tells him to put it away because she doesn't like it. She also mentions that she won't help him write his paper if he backs out of her plan. Sean looks disappointed because he really needs the paper, and he agrees to help her. Back inside the house, Cassie works on a report for school, and Max comes into her room to meet her. As he sees the strange book on her table, he tries to open it, but Cassie snatches it from his hand. Max says he wants her to read it to him, but Cassie mentions that it's too scary. Max says he likes scary stories, especially on Halloween, but Cassie doesn't believe this. As she then ignores him and continues typing her report, Max accidentally turns off the switch, and Cassie's computer goes off. Cassie looks frustrated by this, and as she scolds him, he says it was unintentional. Cassie eventually calms down and asks if he still wants her to read him a scary story.
You're not mad anymore?
Max says he does, and Cassie mentions that she'll read the evil thing to him. Shortly after, she follows him to his room to read the story. Even though Cassie sees the instruction on the first page again, she ignores it and starts reading about the evil thing, who is referred to as a gruesome beast that feasts on living flesh. The evil thing also happens to be a two-headed beast, with one head meant to suck its victim's blood, while the other one eats raw flesh. Cassie reads that the evil thing carries its babies in slimy eggs on its back. She also mentions that the babies are usually hungry, and they immediately try to get a snack after they hatch, so the evil thing traps some victims for them. Max looks really scared, but as Cassie continues the story, she mentions that the evil thing isn't real unless someone thinks about it. Just then, Cassie looks pleased to see that Max is scared, and she leaves the room after telling him to go to bed. Max then begins to tell himself not to think about it, but just as he does, he hears a scary sound outside his room. Almost immediately, Max runs to Cassie's room to tell her that he has already thought about the evil thing and that it has come alive. Cassie then says that the evil thing will come and get him, and this leaves him terrified. As Max looks scared and begins to cry, Cassie tells him that she was just joking. She adds that the evil thing isn't real and that she only told him the story to scare him. Max asks if she's being serious, and as Cassie says she is, he returns to his room. Elsewhere, a strange beast suddenly shows up in the town and attacks a pizza delivery guy who is inside his car. As the pizza guy looks scared and begs for his life, the beast grabs him and takes him away from the car. Meanwhile, Cassie continues working on her paper, but as someone appears to be staring at the house, the lights inside start flickering until they go off.
Not again. Cassie!
Cassie looks disappointed by this because her computer is off again, and she heads out to check what happened. Max follows her and says that it's better to stay inside, but Cassie mentions that she needs to check what happened to the electricity. Just as she gets to the fuse box, she starts hearing a growling sound, and Max says he knew they should have stayed inside because the evil thing is around. As Cassie wonders if there's really a monster around, something suddenly falls in front of her, and she looks really scared and freaks out. Interestingly, it only happens to be a doll, and as she wonders what's really happening, Priscilla and Sean come out of the bushes. Priscilla then mentions that she recorded everything and saw how scared Cassie was. She adds that she'll show it to everyone at the school and that she's sure they'll find it funny. Cassie tries to get the recorder from her, but Priscilla refuses to give it up.
Next time, loser?
Max then asks if the scary sound was fake, and Sean confirms this. As Priscilla then walks away, Sean apologizes to Cassie and says that he would have also been scared. Cassie doesn't respond to this, and Sean just follows Priscilla. Max then makes fun of Cassie for being scared of a doll. Cassie doesn't like this, and she just sends him into the house after she puts the lights back on. Interestingly, someone still happens to be watching the house from the bushes, and as Cassie heads inside with Max, she tells him to brush his teeth and go to bed. After he heads to his room, the front door mysteriously opens, and Cassie looks shocked by this. However, she just assumes that she accidentally left it open, and she goes to close the door. Meanwhile, as Max is brushing his teeth, someone moves past the door, but he doesn't see this. Shortly after, he returns to his room to sleep, but the closet door suddenly gets opened slightly. As Max wonders if it's Cassie again, she opens the main door and tells him to go to bed instead of calling her name. She closes the door almost immediately, and Max realizes that there's someone else inside the closet. It eventually turns out to be the evil thing, and Max quickly hides under his bed. However, the evil thing finds him there, and as he shouts for Cassie to help her, she assumes that he's just being scared of nothing as usual. Elsewhere, Priscilla watches Cassie's reaction video and laughs about it. Sean doesn't seem to like this, and he takes the tape from her. He then says that he doesn't want Priscilla to send it to the whole school because it's too mean. Priscilla looks pissed by this, and she tells him to return the tape, but he just walks away. As she then starts packing her things, she suddenly hears a strange sound behind the bushes, and she assumes that Sean is trying to prank her. Surprisingly, it turns out to be the evil thing, and Priscilla quickly finds a place to hide. Unfortunately, her hiding spot doesn't happen to be good enough, and the evil thing finds her. As she then screams for help, Sean hears this and wonders if she's just messing around. He eventually decides to check out what's happening, and as he heads toward her voice, he sees her and Max covered in slime while the evil thing stands in front of them. Sean looks shocked by this, and he quickly runs away and heads to Cassie's house. When he gets there, he tells her what he saw, but Cassie mentions that her brother is in his room. Sean says he's sure about what he saw, but Cassie insists that her brother just went to bed. Sean then runs up to check Max's room, and as Cassie tries to stop him, they both see that Max is not there. Cassie looks shocked by this, and Sean shows her the slimy liquid just by the window. Sean suggests calling the cops, but Cassie mentions that no one will believe them on Halloween. She adds that they'll have to kill the evil thing by themselves. Sean looks confused by this, but Cassie says that they have to find where the evil thing took her brother. As they then follow a trail of slimy objects,
Sean, listen.
they find a secret tunnel. Cassie tells Sean that he doesn't have to come with her because she's the one at fault for reading the book aloud. However, Sean says he doesn't mind helping her. Following this, they both head into the tunnel and eventually find where Max and the others have been trapped. As they try to release Max, the evil thing appears behind them. Cassie hits it with a metal object, but the head just splits in two. The evil thing also breaks the stick that Sean is holding, and they're both forced to run away. Before they get outside, the evil thing grabs Sean's leg, but he manages to use the shocker pen to shock the beast. After this, he and Cassie get out safely, and Sean asks why she didn't just heed the warning in the book. Cassie says she just wanted to scare her brother, and Sean asks where she got the book. Cassie then remembers the Halloween store and realizes that the store owner might have answers for her. After running to the store, they see that it's closed. As Cassie looks shocked by this, she sees the store owner already preparing to leave the town.
You knew the book was magic.
She then accuses him of selling the book to her, even though he knew it was magical. The store owner says there was a warning on the first page, but Cassie mentions that it doesn't matter anymore because the evil thing is alive and has captured her brother. The store owner doesn't seem bothered by this, and he says that Cassie was the one who said she likes to scare people. Cassie says she doesn't want anything to happen to her brother, and that the store owner has to do something to help. The strange man mentions that Cassie is the one who has to figure out how to send the evil thing back to where it came from. Cassie seems pissed and says that he's the one who sold the book to her. The store owner says she brought him to the town, and as Cassie looks surprised, he talks about how he travels around the world every Halloween to look for the one person who likes to scare people the most. He then congratulates Cassie and says that she was his pick for this year. As he enters his car, Cassie says there has to be something he can sell to her from the store.
Two heads are better than one.
The man asks what store she's talking about, and Cassie and Sean realize that it's no longer in the corner. As they both look shocked, Cassie says that there has to be something the man can help her with. He then says she needs to know that two heads are better than one, and that's how to get the bloody job done. Cassie doesn't get this, but as he leaves, she and Sean decode the message and realize that they have to get the two heads of the evil thing to fight each other. They also figure out that to do this, they'll have to pour some blood on one of the heads so that the other one will be forced to attack it. Shortly after, they head home and drain the blood from the chicken that Eileen showed Cassie earlier. Following this, they head back to the tunnel and try to lure the evil thing to fall into their trap so they can pour the blood on one of its heads. Unfortunately, their plan doesn't work, and the evil thing sees them.
Get ready.
As they both look scared to pour the blood on the evil thing, they eventually drop the jar containing it. Surprisingly, it falls right in front of Max, who has managed to break out of the evil thing's trap. Cassie and Sean then tell him to pick up the jar and pour the blood on the beast. However, Max looks scared because the evil thing's babies have hatched, and they're now hungry. Cassie still encourages her brother to be brave, and just before the evil thing can attack him, he pours the blood on it. it. Surprisingly, this turns the two heads against each other, and they fight until the beast gets destroyed. Cassie and Sean look happy about this, and they praise Max for being brave. After they release Priscilla, she looks pissed and calls Cassie a witch. Cassie says she didn't expect things to turn out like that, but Priscilla mentions that her dad is a lawyer. She then tells Sean to follow her, but he says he'll walk Cassie home instead. Priscilla looks pissed by this, and she walks away angrily.
Could you get me down from here?
Sean and Cassie then help the pizza guy, who says he'll give them a free box of pizza. Shortly after, they return to the house and eat the pizza before Cassie drops the evil thing book into the fireplace. As it burns, Sean says he needs to head home because his dad would already be worried. Cassie then follows him to the door and offers to teach him how to go about his paper, and he thanks her for this. After he leaves, Cassie looks happy, and Max comes over to ask if she can read him a story before he goes to bed. Cassie says she'll do this, and she follows him to his room. Much later, Eileen and Jack return from the party and look shocked to see their kids asleep together on the bed. They also seem pleased by this, and as Eileen tries to find her chicken, Jack sees the book inside the fireplace. He looks shocked by this, and as he opens it, he sees the warning on the first page.
Listen to this. Do not read aloud.
Jack jokes about this with Eileen, and she laughs while telling him to read the book. As Jack reads the book until the end, he jokes that they better not think about the evil thing. Almost immediately, the closet door opens inside Max's room, and Cassie looks shocked as she wonders if the evil thing is back. After getting frustrated by her brother, Cassie reads him a strange book to scare him. Unfortunately, the story gets a monster released into the world, and it starts abducting different people, including Max. Cassie eventually realizes that she's responsible for this, and she teams up with Sean to find a way to destroy the monster. Just as they're about to do this, they make a big mistake and are forced to rely on Max, who overcomes his fears and helps them destroy the evil thing. Even though Max had always been a scaredy cat, he became brave at the right time and helped keep the town safe from the monster. In this story, we learn that true bravery is about doing the right thing, even when you're scared.